definitely pass it over to Brandon, but I just have to get my little feel in.
Nexxlegacy. Man, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
No doubt. And, as Mr. Incense said, welcome to Vintage Music Radio. And, you know what I'm saying, let the fans out here, like I said, like Incense said, we got a couple of your fans listening right now live on the phone with us. And we got people out here across the board. And we got people in the chat rooms and instant messages all across the world, man. So let people know what's been up with you, man, and just let everybody know how you doing, bro.
What's good, everybody, on the check-in, however y'all are listening right now, however y'all are supporting, I appreciate it. You know what, man, I'm so blessed, and hip-hop is such a great thing, and lyricism, and just the whole movement means so much to me. It's so magnanimous that for me to kind of, like, start in what's going on with me, I kind of don't know where to start, you know what I mean? Because the only thing I can say is I got a lot of projects coming out. I got the album Reconstruction about to drop in a minute. Many big guest features this year. Yeah, so, whatever you want to talk about, we could kind of get into it. I've never been, that much of a salesman about it. I do what I do, and that's kind of how it
is. Go ahead, Incense. Toss a question out for Mr. XL, real deal.
Hey, man, basically, man, the thing I want to know with you, as far as the state of hip-hop right now, as far as the negative things that you don't like, what's some of the negative, and then what's some of the good things about hip-hop that's going on today?
Well, first of all, thanks for posing the question with the polarity and the balance, because usually people want to always, ask you what you don't like, and they never want to, they're not even interested in what you do like, so I appreciate that. Well, what I don't like, I'd say, is I think, as a whole and as an art form, whether you're the greatest lyricist that ever walked the planet, if you're not so interested in lyricism, if you're very hip-hop or you're not hip-hop, or, if you belong to the culture at all, I think it's really important that we understand how important it is and what it is that this art form has meant to so many people and what it has actually done and accomplished. As per literature, man, some of the less talented lyricists have more metaphors and entendres in their music than some of the historical literature that were forced, to recognize as great works in the school system. I challenge Shakespeare and a lot of other these, European works to duel with some of the wordplay, like I said, on the most basic of rap records. And I don't think we take it as the skill that it is. I mean, having, being in the process of writing rhymes, commercials as I am, and writing stuff for other artists and big projects and for myself, and being able to talk to some of these people that are supposed to be marketing geniuses and writers of, commercials and sitcoms, and the way that they are so disadvantaged behind the pen and behind the typewriter in comparison to us. And I just want everybody to know that we're taking 16 bars, right? Creating 16 bars from nothing and getting all of our agendas out in less than a minute. Creating movies, creating mental landscapes with no pictures that are so powerful that when you're locked up in prisons, they won't even let you listen to rap records when you're on death row. You can watch all the movies you want, you can read all the books you want, but listen to a rap record? No, because it strikes the inner emotional chords like nothing else in the world, no other art form that has ever been created. And I just, what I don't like is I don't think that we take it seriously. I don't think we understand our place in history. And, one of my missions, for sure, is to make sure that, along with the talent that God gave me, the culture, the lyrical part of the culture, the music part of the culture, I want to make sure, and I will stand up and defend it, in any court, anywhere in the whole universe, and it needs to take its rightful place along the other great works of art.
Right.
That's what I don't like. We don't take it serious enough. Now, what I do like is, I was told for a long period of time that it was over as far as people caring about lyrics, and real hip hop would never come back. And I'm gonna make the official announcement because apparently I can. Apparently, I'm in a sandwich generation where I'm not old enough to actually be a legend, but I get respect like that. And there's a lot of people who don't know me and are learning about me now. And I got a lot of records with a lot of new artists. So I'm in a sandwich generation where I'm kind of new, and respected by the people who hear me now, but also respected in a legendary way to some people too, which is a blessing. So I'm able to use this soapbox to get on and tell everybody that real hip hop and lyricism are very much alive. Very much alive. Dudes are getting it in, no homo. I'm hearing mad, freestyles and no hooks and raw beats and, what I'm saying, seeing ciphers all over the place and, the touring is coming back and, so what I do like is the whole thing as it was intended by the greats is coming back. It's here.
Right, definitely.
You know what, and Chino, what you're speaking is definitely the truth, because I always try to, get back into the simple fact that, hip-hop is definitely an art form. A lot of the genres of music, it's something that's an art form and should be brought to a real level. And, one of the things that I always used to talk about is the relevancy of hip-hop music and albums and things like that, like a Chino XL album. To me, I think that's relevant in this hip-hop world today because it's needed.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Or if you take a Dre, or if you take anybody that was real influential in the game, an album that's needed. They need to come back because we need their type of swag and their music and stuff like that. Do you kind of feel the same way? Not slighting the new artists and things like that, but just kind of bringing that whole united vibe from a lot of the old school artists too. You know what I mean?
Well, for sure. I think it's really necessary. I think even more so as not to say that some of the new artists aren't capable of a lot of the things that the way that we came up with it, the way we heard it. But I've noticed that they are capable of all of these things, but it has been inbred in them to not do it or to not expose it. They got managers and labels that tell them, look, make a record that makes the girl scream, this girl scream or whatever, get on stage, rock your little hits that they know of and get off the stage and keep it moving. So they'll see Chino XL perform and be like, hold on. Dude just rocked for 45 minutes, right? Never stopped, did 14 acapellas and I've been taught to think that wasn't even relevant. So this young cat is like, I do possess some of that gift. I possess the ability to do a lot of that stuff lyrically. So but I won't even do it because they told me not to. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a new Cool G rap album, you pick up the Slaughterhouse, whatever product they push it at the time, or you pick up my album or hear the new Rakim project or a lot of the greats. I hate to, when I don't name somebody, it's because I didn't think of them right then. I don't want to hear it. I ain't name somebody, but when you hear the artists that we're talking about of that ilk or that caliber, or you see them perform live or whatever, it inspires these, younger artists to say, that is kind of what I thought I was supposed to do, and that is the music that my older brother listened to, but I was taught to not do that anymore because that wasn't relevant. I'm supposed to have the same beats and the same, hook concepts and all of that, and it don't matter because I'm hearing all these people talking about, I'm not a rapper, I'm a gangster, I just rap because, whatever, just to make money, and, and then all of a sudden, Lil Wayne comes out and sells 1 million records, and his thing is, I'm the greatest rapper alive. And I know people want to argue with that or whatever that is, but listen, dude said rapper. What do we do, man? We're lyricists, we're rappers, it's what we do. Michael Jordan is a great basketball player. They didn't talk about what he wore or this or that. He was great with the handle. Kobe Bryant is great with the handle. Big up Lakers. I don't want to hear nothing. Anyway, it was great. I had to get that in. No homo. So great with the handle or whatever, but it's called rap. You know what I'm saying? And isn't that what we do? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? So Wayne comes out and hate it if you want to. Some people may not agree with him, where he puts himself, but he made an impact on the music universally by saying he was a rapper, kind of put light switch over people's heads, like, okay, well, at least that's his gimmick. His gimmick ain't a dance, whatever it is. And so I think, yeah, it is time for a lot of stuff to come back out to show people that it is relevant and there's a market for it. And, most importantly, man, not to be a broken record, a lot of people have said it, we got to really support the music, because without supporting it, you can't prove, in numbers what it really means. And so, get it off of iTunes. Click it real quick and buy it if you really like an artist or whatever. Go to the show and support them or whatever, so, it can be deemed relevant to the powers that be, so it can be funded, so it can keep going or whatever. But, for sure, I'm really excited to for this record that's coming out. I kind of liken it to when Nirvana in the rock world came out and destroyed the hair bands. You know what I mean? Like, okay, enough. Kind of like enough of this. And I got a lot of people who feel the same way. And it's just it's a great time in hip hop again. I feel really good, man. I feel energized, and the game is especially on the West Coast, man. We in good shape out here.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, Chino, before I let some other people ask some questions, and don't forget, people, this is live on Monday with Chino XL in the house on Vintage Music Talk Radio. I need to kind of ask you a question too, like what I'm saying, with how it was back in the day in the 80s. Actually, you want to go take it back to the 70s, where what I'm saying, there was some people out there, and they really paved the way for a lot of people in the 80s to do their music.
For sure.
And enhance their art form, and then that's how it was with the 80s, musicians and stuff like that. I'm talking about all genres of music, they helped out the people in the 90s, and, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, bro, but, somewhere in the 90s it stopped where that I'm gonna walk you through it so you can become the next, fill in the blanks. To me, personally, it all stopped somewhere in the 90s, and I don't really understand why, but, people used to pass batons, and now they don't do it no more, because it might be because they might feel like their position is threatened, or whatever the case may be. But, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, to use my own self as an example, because, I kind of got a lot of Taoism and Buddhist ways about me. You're not supposed to see any kind of inconsistencies in another person that you can't see in yourself first. I'll say, when I gave it up, when I gave up wanting to make commercial music anymore, when I say commercial, I don't mean commercial like it's on the radio, I mean making music to want to release it, was, like in the late 90s, like 99, between like 2001 and 2003, or, so we're talking about the same time. I just didn't know where I fit in. I didn't know where the music was going, and it was so different, and we kind of let it get out of our hands. It went from, it's been said, but, it kind of went from underground lyricism to it being a little bit more glamorous, till all of a sudden, niggas is wearing shiny suits and all of that shit. And I don't mean, not to judge it by what people had on, but what that meant is, you put the shiny suit on and fuck it, it don't matter what you're saying no more,
Yeah.
So I think during that time, it changed. But still, in all, almost every artist's lineage starts from somewhere. If you really look at it, like, you take an artist like Flo Rida, for instance. A lot of people, he's commercial and all that. He makes records like that. But, nigga, I know Flo Rida personally. I remember when the nigga was in Los Angeles eating fucking ramen noodles and doing push-ups and wearing a Florida license plate around his neck, and very capable of spitting. The nigga's not whack. He's not whack. He's doing it as he sees fit, and how they're kind of like telling him to do it, and how they're guiding it. You get what I'm saying? His lineage is from Rick Ross, and then Rick Ross' lineage is from somewhere else in Miami. So you don't always know exactly who put the person on or who mentored him. But if you follow it back, there still is that mentor, but in some kind of fashion. But it's strange, because you got to remember, financially, in a lot of situations, it's hard for an artist, who has a lot of value of himself and isn't going to take a lot of shortcuts, to even exist in his own realm, to try to put another artist on, that you can see it in the way that it used to be, like, Wu-Tang sticking together and this and that and that and this. So being that there are less breaks, it gets harder. I mean, and also, because of the finances and because of the way, the majors have somewhat manipulated the artist and handpicked who they wanted to use, they've used a lot of artists that didn't have so much rebellion in them or weren't so independent thinking, so they could kind of control them. Like all of a sudden there was groups and then there's no groups, and all of a sudden there's just one dude that came out. You know what I mean? It's easier for them to tell him what to do. It's easier for them to keep him, keep the dangling carrot of you have to do what we say. I mean, it's just not our art form. I mean, when I was coming up, man, you had a lot of groups that played instruments and was on stage and all kinds of shit, and then it was a couple groups, and now to be like one dude lip syncing, through a vocoder or some shit. You're like, who's this dude? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but let's just take responsibility for ourselves, and that's what we're doing. I mean, it was grassroots how you got in touch with me, and grassroots how I called you, and your listeners, they have no reason to listen except for they want to listen. So we're taking it in our own hands, kind of how it was before, and being that the finances aren't there like they used to be. There's a lot of people who are doing it now just because they love it, and that is really, really, and truthfully how it was intended.
No doubt. Now, you know what I'm saying, let me go ahead, and if the person from the 760 is still on the line, I know they wanted to say what's up to Chino a little earlier, and you know what I'm saying, you got the forward blood. If you want to go ahead and say what it do to Chino XL, go for it.
Yeah, what's up, Chino? I just want to say what's up to you. I followed your career since you came out. I actually had the honor to open up for you last August at the Knitting Factory up in Hollywood, which was a badass show, definitely, and I got to meet Bum B as well, so it was cool. I just want to give
Thank you.
Just want to give you major props, and just looking forward to your next album and see what's coming out next.
Man, I appreciate that. How shocked were my fans when I brought Bun out? Kind of a treat, wasn't it?
It was crazy, yeah. I didn't even expect. Oh, it was blown away.
Yeah, man. I must admit, I am so blessed with great artists that I can actually call friends. Now it goes so far beyond the music, and it's like real cats that, just to be surrounded by great people, you know what I mean? If you want to be a baker, you should hang around other great bakers or whatever. Unfortunately, I have that situation. But I'm congratulations on everything you got going on, my dude, and you won't be disappointed in the reconstruction, I promise.
Oh, I can't wait.
That's what's up. Homie from the 760, stay on the line. You know what I'm saying? You go ahead and mix into the conversation. But the homeboy from the 856, I know you want to say what it do to Chino XL, so the floor is yours, man. Go for it.
Hello?
Yo.
Hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, homie. What's good?
Oh, okay. Well, most definitely, I'm going to give you most props on what you're doing.
Thank you.
Definitely, with the way the economy is right now, I mean, we need good artists, to get a good message out there, especially for the kids right now. Especially for the kids, I mean, it starts with the kids and music in schools and, getting a good message out there and, get a positive outlook. And the way everything's going right now, we need good artists out there getting a message out there, getting outlook and things like that. And definitely what you're doing, good props to you, definitely. Most stuff.
Thank you. I mean, you brought up a valid point. Music in schools and programs like that, and it just always baffles me how every town and city that I go to, I'll see a brand new Westfield mall being built that looks like a planet onto itself, with all of this major, like, Paris and Nicky Hilton stores and this and that and that and this, and then there's no art classes and stuff in school, and you're thinking to yourself, like, how does this work? How did we let this get away from us? You know what I mean? I remember being in school and wonder why, like, where's our fencing team? And then, I discovered that, and then after a while we got one, and not that I'm into that or nothing, but I'm just the type of dude that would notice that. Like, I don't care if we in the hood or whatever, you never know. This could birth the greatest fencer of all times, and he'll never know that he had that blessing because he didn't have it afforded to him. Man, I gotta tell you, it's such a paradigm and tectonic shift as far as the hip-hop artists go, that, I mean, almost any artist that you could throw at me, I can probably tell you how much community service that I know of that they do. I mean, it's a different time, man. People are really starting to wake up and realize that we're all part of this global village. I mean, this stuff like, you know, Twitter and all of that is really, I mean, of course it is an online community and it is that, but what it represents is the fact that we're all tied into this global village, and that everybody does have to take some sort of responsibility on some level for the next one. And I mean, we pray before every time before I go on stage. You know, we always have a prayer. And one of the main things that prayer always consists of is like, look, man, if I could inspire one kid in this audience to do something great, you know what I mean, then I've done my job. I have done my job, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying how people start to feel that way when their skills start to do, you know, not what they are. They aren't strong as they were, and you know, all they got sour grapes and all of a sudden, man, yo, I'm Chino XL, 6'2", 235 pounds, iller than I ever been, coming with one of the best projects of my life. I got mad people that respect me and support me and all that, and you know, I'm gonna say it. It is time to really make a change with the person standing next to you. You know, you could be ill as you want to, but you know, you don't have to do it publicly. But you know, I mean, I'll just say this: I've been on the road probably for the last year and a half, here and there, with Immortal Technique, who's like a brother to me. And I mean, the things that he does are just fantastic. Fantastic, you know what I mean? And it definitely is, you know, it's an example of, you could be the illest lyricist and do all of this, but you really got to touch people, you know, closer to where they are and help them with what their own personal struggle is, and that's really what hip-hop is. And I was on the phone with a homie today, my homie Dutch, and he's talking about starting a website and all of that, and we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, yo, you know, I ain't have no father. I did it. Coogee Rap, Rakim, those were my fathers. Those were my parents. When I was in my room, you know, and I needed some guidance, man, I would listen to those records and feel like I was part of something. Do you know what I mean? And you know, I think in some kind of manner we lost touch of what that was. But it is really, really, you know, it's back, man. It's back.
We definitely. I mean, being now that you know, voices right now can be heard, you know, but through music, you know, we right now with the economy, the way it's going right now, and like me being from Camden, which is hood, you know, definitely hood, and I just came from the mall today, from Cherry Hill Mall, and the renovations they're doing, it's like, it's crazy, you know, they have Nordstrom's opening up, they have all this money going to the market, whatever, and it's like, you know, the way the economy is right now, the way right now, hopefully, you know, with new president and everything's upcoming, but I mean, change is coming, but it's not as close as we want it to be. But you know, voices not being heard, especially, you know, but right now through music, it's the way to hip hop is more live than what it's been. You know what I mean? I think basically
for sure, man.
I feel it. I mean, through music. I mean, through your music, through everyone's music, But music, especially, is a form of, you know, expression, you know, and especially through the kids right now. Especially the kids right now. Right now, they need to see the way things are is like a form of expression. You know what I mean? As an artist, myself, as yourself, you know, hip hop is the way to be right now.
For sure, man. What it is about hip hop is hip hop is it's postmodern, meaning that. Anything it incorporates anything. I'm on the way to right. There is no limit. You know, you got you sample country music. You could use a hook that's interpolated from a rock record. It is a genre that encompasses all genres, which means it encompasses all people, race, religions, and creeds. And what it does is it opens up such, you know, conversation and such dialogue that there's really nothing that can't be accomplished by it. And Camden, New Jersey, you know I'm from Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Originally, big up Camden, big up Big Lou out there. A lot of Latinos out there. Y'all represent me, ain't they? Yeah, but Camden's a wild place. Don't get it twisted. They'll straighten it out.
Yeah, don't stop.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Hey, man. Basically, Chino, man. moving on, man, to some of your latest works, man. What do you think is like just gonna blow us away, man? What you got in store for us that's just going? Talking about, you know, the album and whatnot, and that we won't be disappointed, but you know, is there a sneak peek that just gonna be like, man, I really put it down on this album right here. This one track that just gonna blow our mind.
Right. Well, I can't. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on any piece of on the album, because I find that some of the things that might be like a little obscure to me might really catch on. You know what I mean? So I don't want to limit whatever it is. I can tell you that for me, it is me. It's me as the example. Me still being here, being stronger than I ever been. The fact that the album is such quality. That is the thing that anybody who wants to remain in the game for a really long time and never compromise too much and know that and put the art form first, really a person should be blown away by that. I mean, for me, it's a victory just still being in the game after 15 years and still loving it is the victory. You know what I mean? There's things on the album that are really close to me, like the joint that I got with Pun, obviously. I got so many guest appearances. I got a Latino stand-up remix that has basically almost every Latino you could think of. In a couple days, the joint that's about to drop is called 90 Bar Intervention. It's just straight 90 bars of, yeah, your man be saying some shit. Yeah, so that one is pretty, that one is pretty dope. I got a joint on there called Mama Told Me. That's, pretty close to me or whatever. But yeah, I'm not going to say it's one thing that's just going to blow people away per se. Hopefully, they'll have their favorites and all that. And, the master does his work or whatever and then just walks away from it and sees what happens. Like when I did all the way back when I did No Complex and Creep to Poison Pen, Wordsmith and Skin and all of that, I wasn't sure if anybody could ever relate, if anyone could relate to any of that because it was so personal. And, the response that I got from it was real, was great and lasting. So, I don't know. I'm not the best person to judge my work. I can tell you what feels good and what I like performing. But other than that, I don't know. I'm just happy with it. It's like a debut album for me. It's kind of like the first time I kind of feel like I have the handcuffs off and I could do a lot of the things that I've always wanted to do.
Well, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, definitely fans will definitely get, their own opinions, when it drops and stuff like that. So you got a drop date on that?
We're looking at probably the last week in June, I think. The last week in June. But in a couple of days, y'all going to have the 90 Bar Intervention, and I believe that, for my fans and the fans of lyrics, I think they'll be quite pleased with that, let's say. To say the least. It's pretty ill.
I got to say, man, it's like, it was back in like probably want to say 97, man. I had my homeboy from South Central, man. He was a DJ, man, and it had to be like 97, man. But there was like he had this record, man, and it was like crazy freestyles from like cats like you, LL, Corrupt, Snoop Dogg. I mean, it was like cats from everywhere, man. And I was trying to judge. I was like, it was Chino and Corrupt. Y'all was killing everybody on that record,
right?
On the crazy freestyles, and I was just like, man, that was like a memory, man, that I will never forget. I was like, this cat is like hella tight, right? On the mic, with the lyrics and whatnot. But between you and Corrupt, I was like, I had never heard Corrupt spit like that, and I was like, okay, this cat can really go.
Yeah, like, Corrupt is a bona fide monster. He's ridiculous. For years. Great dude, too. Well, I'm glad to have given you that memory, son, you know what I mean? Like, it feels good to even be able to even be part of that. And, it's weird because I hope that people know that I really mean that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to say it. I could just, like, let my work speak for itself and just meet people, hand to hand in the street and all that. But when I say I really do appreciate the amount of attention, because you got to remember, man, I have not had the biggest push in retail. I have not had albums that dropped consistently. I've not ever had a real major push or campaign. I never had anybody really large, until recently pretty much, co-signing me. So when people talk about file sharing and all of that, that's why I asked, could people please go and support the project on iTunes if you have to get it off the computer? The reason I asked is because I can't speak bad about the computers or the internet, because during my years of not being around and of total obscurity, my fans on the internet will not waver, arguing, this is my dude, listen to this. This is my dude, listen to this. So, I really am humbled and appreciative of that, because if it wasn't for the file sharing and the Kazaa and all of that, and the LimeWire and all of that, I wouldn't have been able to have such an impact on people, and for people to keep hearing about me when I doubted myself. It's like the internet fans still, supported me or whatever it is. And, it's major, and it's a good feeling, and it's unbelievable to me, at times, but it lets me know that, I gotta move on. I see the craziest things, like, the comedian Wayne Brady spitting lyrics of mine to Sway. Or, I'll meet the most crazy I got fans in such the strangest walks of life that just appreciate what it is, per literature. And, it's just amazing, man. Some fascinating shit, man. I never would have thought in a million years that, when I was, 9 years old with the paint chipping off the fucking wall in my room, breathing asbestos or whatever the fuck was in the basement, I'm saying, that it would take me and let me see some of the things that I've seen. And I'm just glad that I'm able to, that I'm getting my roses while I can still smell them. I enjoy the shit. I enjoy it, yo. I enjoy it. Like, somebody hit me the other day. The homegirl was like, yo, there was a big meeting, and they were playing Tech Nine's album, and when your verse came on, the joint you got on this album, the whole place went crazy. I'm like, yo, that is what it is. That is what it is. You know what I mean? And I feel blessed to be one of the few artists that will do a record with Baby Bash, and then the next day I'm with Sick Jacket, and do a record with Immortal Technique, who's like my brother, and do a record with Snoop, and do a record with Radiohead, and work with Atmosphere, and be on Tech Nine's album, be in the South, and do records with Bun B, and, it's like, I don't have any limits on what it is that I do, as long as I keep the lyrics to where they need to be to, and, that's basically it, and I feel like I represent so many things everywhere that I go, just being a Latino man. I'm also half black, so that makes me mixed, you know what I mean? Being an East Coast human being, but a West Coast artist, I represent that. Kind of old school, but kind of new school, all of the gothic kids that wear the black and all of that, they all come to my shows and love me, so I got a really good thing going, man, and I'm proud of it, and I got a lot of great people working with me, and, it's just a good time in hip-hop, man. I'm feeling really good.
That's great. You got a broad spectrum, man, of fans. So, and that's what it's about, man. You touching people, from all over. So, hey, man, what I was actually the last question I was leaning to when I was talking about your freestyle, man. What would you say? Was we'll even say a couple cats. It don't have to be, one cat, but I know you're known for battling cats and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Who would you say, like, not saying beat you or whatever, but somebody that says, hey, man, this cat really brought it to me. You know what I'm saying?
And Chino, before you even answer that question, bruh,
right.
I have somebody that wanted to say what's up, big ups, and all that stuff to you that's on the line, and I'll just let the man's voice speak for himself. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Chino, what it do, man? Big Psych in the building, baby.
Big Psych, what's good, homie? Yo, that is my nigga right there. Son, when they were trying to, everybody, I had heard that they were doing something for you. I think, was it this radio station right here?
Yeah, it was
for sure.
Yeah, and I did everything, B. I know your people told you to try to get to it or whatever. I can't remember what was going on, but yeah, much respect to you, man. Always holding it down. That's a triple OG right there.
Oh, man, come on, man. You've been doing your thing, too, man. It's all good, baby. Man, it's all good, man.
Appreciate you.
How like treating the baller, man?
Man, I really don't have many complaints at all. My homie down from the 805, my man had things leaning like a cholo or whatever. He had a little car accident, and he was in a coma for a minute, and now he's out, as of today or whatever. So, you know what I mean? It really makes you appreciate things in a whole different light You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, as corny as it might seem to cats or whatever, man, I'm on the radio right now with people listening to me, on the internet with people listening to me, whatever. I got radio, I got Big Psych on the phone, you know what I'm saying, co-signing me. Like, life is good, B. Life is good.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, that's what it's all about, man. That's what these cats need to know, homie. Your life can be gone in 1 minute, so it's all about
for real.
Enjoying it, you know.
Yes, sir. Well, what you got going on?
I don't want to interrupt you. I know they had you all in the mix, man. Just do your thing, man. I'm just here listening, man. It's all good.
My dude, much respect, Biggs. Like, make sure, man, gotta get me on a project, yo. We need to do a record together. We never did that.
Oh, man, that's nothing. You know I'm about to get at you, baby. That's nothing.
All right. My dude, Big Sight. I never was going back to the question. I was never on the battle circuit, like the official things. I battled mad cats, yeah, but never was on the like when people on stage with each other and all of that. So, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, G-Rap is the greatest of all times. That's my opinion. There's a lot of dope motherfuckers, and most of the dope motherfuckers in this game are motherfuckers I talk to probably every other day. You know what I mean? Some of my close homies. But I would just say as far as, you know, who I just think the greatest of all time, and that's how I want to answer that comment. I think one of the greatest of all times, for sure, hands down, is Cool G-Rap. And I've had arguments with it, and I know his lyrics so well that it's really hard for anyone to argue with me when they start bringing up who their favorite is. You know what I mean? He just happens to be. He's also my dude I've worked with him many times on the Anthem, the joint with me, M, and RZA, you know, download that. Yeah, but, you know, I got a lot of favorites, you know, in different categories, you know? So, yeah, that's really it. As far as, you know, all that other shit is that other shit, but G-Rap is the greatest of all time, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, that's what it is. That's official, man. You brought it way back, where, you know, especially to some of the cats that kind of out of our era. I'm in the same era that you in, you know what I'm saying? So I know about the Cool G-Rap. It was funny, man, because I had actually getting back to the call, man. It was me on Vintage Music Talk Radio, man, on Twitter, and you know, when I had shot you that message or whatever, we were just getting on Twitter, so I didn't even know how to work the shit, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I didn't know to check the add message, so after the show, I went back to Twitter and I seen you like, hey, man, what's the number? And I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted to get that surprise, man, and get you to holler at each other or whatever. So.
Yeah, Big Psych is my dude. Yeah, anybody listening that's on Twitter or whatever, at Chino XL, at Twitter with no space, Chino XL at Twitter, holler at me. Everybody who talks to me on there knows I reply to every single message, yo. It might take me a minute to get back to it, but if you're gonna sit there and take the time, you know, to holler at me of all the other people that's on there, whatever, I'm gonna do my best to holler back. It's a wonderful thing. You know what I mean? You learn so much about where your music isn't being heard, or you know, people have questions. Well, where can I see you at? Or what did you mean by this lyric? Or you know, what do you think it is? Like it's so interactive, and for an artist like me, I've always been postmodern. You know, all my references have always been what was going on in the world and all of that. You know, I really like it. It's dope to get on Twitter and talk to cats. You know, one-on-one. It's dope shit.
Yes, dude, I found Special Ed on that joint today. I was like,
yeah,
what?
see, I remember the first day I was on there, and Hammer was like, "What's up, Chino XL?" I was like, "What? This can't really be him." So I made a couple phone calls, and niggas was like, "Yo, that is Hammer on there." I was like, "Nigga, MC Hammer just said what's up to me." Like, that nigga knows who I am? Wow.
Man, come on,
wow.
Everybody know who you is. Hey, Hammer's a fool, too. Hammer ain't no dancer, man. I do got to say, I want to put that out there on the air. Hammer, even though he did the dancing on me, Hammer's a real cat, homie. That's a real cat right there, man. Real talk, man.
Today's his birthday, too, so we definitely want to do a shout-out happy birthday, yeah, for sure.
Oh,
yo, that nigga's an Aries, too? It's mad dudes, that motherfuckers is Aries, yo. I thought I was in the minority, but I'm not. Really not. Yeah, my birthday is April 8th. About to have my birthday next week. Sick Jackin from Psycho Realm was on the 7th. I know Chase Infinite just had a birthday. There's a lot of Aries cats or whatever, but yeah, man, it's a great time.
You throwing some parties or something, man? What it do?
Yeah, I'm having a little something at El Pecador, Sinful's spot, Rhythm Lounge in Long Beach. I'm gonna go through there, man, you know, hang out a little bit in Long Beach. Hopefully Crooked will be in town, you know what I mean? Get that nigga drunk, next thing you know we on stage together, giving niggas way more than what they paid for.
Man, come on. You know, the crook go hard in the paint.
Oh yeah, that's me. Me and him is connected at the hip, no homo. You know what I mean? Me and that nigga's interchangeable. You know what I mean? There's probably more records with me and him and like another. There's so many records with me and him and then another dude that it's almost like we're the group and then there's one person in between. You know what I mean?
Hey,
so many records we've done together.
Man, y'all might need to do that, man. That sounds like a good combo right there.
Yeah, well, we got the whole the Dirty Dodgers project. It's me, him, and El Pecador. He rhymes in Spanish. He's one of the greatest to ever do it in Spanish or whatever. You know, it's gonna be a great thing. It's gonna be a great thing. So that's what's up. So.
Yeah, man, I was just swinging through to say what up, Chino, man. I was just checking you out, man, see what it do. I'm gonna get your numbers and shit from my folks, man, and I'm at you for sure.
For sure, man. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah,
man.
Hey, Chino, man, you know what I'm saying? Now you've been on here, homie, you know what I'm saying? Don't be a stranger. Feel free to come through, promote whatever the hell you want. Ain't nothing to give me, Brandon, a call, email, whatever. Hit us on Twitter. Say, hey, man, I'm going to fall in tonight and chop it up with y'all and promote my shit, whatever you want to do, you know what I'm saying? You family, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I really, really appreciate that. And you know what I mean? I just want to congratulate y'all on. I know it ain't easy. It's not easy at all to do what you guys are doing, and I really appreciate it. You know, on behalf of me and the other artists of my kind, you know what I mean? We appreciate you even respecting it and giving our fans somewhere where they can hear us at. So, you know, respect to that. And I'll see all of y'all motherfuckers on Twitter, homie, once I get out of the studio tonight. Reconstruction album. The first leak is 90 bars of intervention. I'm sure y'all gonna get to hear it right here.
Hey, Chino, I think it's an honor, dude, and a privilege to have, you know what I'm saying? We got legends in the building, like, you know what I'm saying? I know you said you too young to be a legend, Chino, but, you know what I'm saying? I think you paid some dues just like Big Psych has, you know what I'm saying? I think you guys did enough for the game to have, you know what I'm saying, people by the thousands and thousands to really appreciate your art form. And, you know what I'm saying, I'm glad that you continue to keep talking like it's an art form because, you know what I'm saying, that word, you know what I'm saying, you don't hear it too much. So, you know, in order for anybody to kind of appreciate what you do, you know what I'm saying, that's a talent in itself, man. So, you know what I'm saying, it's just like Incense said, anytime you want to come on, you know, Psych, you already know, man, you've been on my show enough to know that you family. So, you know what I'm saying, Chino, same thing for you. And I just sent the text out to Cricket, so I don't know if he's going to call in real quick or not, but, you know what I'm saying, shout out to Cricket Eye, though, you know what I mean? But,
yes,
you know,
sir.
You the man for sure, you know what I'm saying, and I appreciate your contributions to the game as Big Psych, so, you know what I'm saying, it's a privilege.
Man, and vice versa, my brother. You know, we're just gonna keep on moving it, and I'm learning to enjoy it. It's hard for the kind of personality dysfunctions that a nigga like me has, but I'm learning to really and actually enjoy it and realize that I'm in a special place in history, and that if there's anyone, in the sound of my voice that thinks that lyrics don't matter or their art form, any kind of art form that they make, doesn't matter whether they be painters or, I don't care if it's some chick somewhere in Alaska that's the illest seamstress and she wants to push the art form to the limit and people are telling her just to make regular shit. Like, you know what I mean? You can push the boundaries and get respected for it later because, you can use me as an example. When I came out, nobody knew what the fuck had hit them. As time goes on, you know what I mean, people start to relate to it and they understand that you're no different than them. It's just you took those big steps to go ahead and push the art form and to push whatever it is to its limit. And without that, we wouldn't have Jimi Hendrix and we wouldn't have had, all these other great legendary, artists that decide to bend the art form just a little bit, to make it different. So, there's me and a lot of artists that are like me out there. Go find them, you know what I mean? Tell your homies to check it out or whatever, because what you hear on the radio, 99.9% of the time does not reflect the way hip-hop was intended to be. And when I'm somewhere and I'm standing next to Rakim, or I'm standing next to Immortal Technique, or I'm standing next to Pharoah Monch, or I'm somewhere, next to Crooked, or next to a Sick Jackin', believe me, we keep the hip-hop the way it was intended, the way all the, that's why you see dudes like us, and we see Africa Bambaataa, he salutes us like a soldier because he knows that we caught the jewel that was thrown out.
No doubt.
And that's it. All right, everybody. Everybody be safe, yo.
Hey, man.
All right. The homie Chino XL, most def appreciated live on Monday, Vintage Music Talk Radio. I mean, You know what I'm saying? Big Psych, Chino XL, come on. You know what I'm saying? What else do you want on a night like a Monday night? You know what I mean? That's what's up. Tuesday morning for some of you people out there and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Big ups to the listeners, big ups to the people. You know what I'm saying? I got a good treat by having Psych on here too. And you know what I'm saying? We just continue to push the envelope, man. I mean, big major props to Big Psych. If y'all want to add him on the MySpace joint, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying, hit up my top spot, because that man's resting on my tops on my page, myspace.com/branded101. You know what I'm saying? Big Psych Music is the MySpace. You know what I'm saying? And I think Big Psych, I'm not sure if you're still on, bro, but you got Twitter too, right? I think he dropped off. But
Nexxlegacy.